Live on YouTube. There we go. Ooh, welcome to the most autistic Gunpla building you'll get this side of the Mississippi. What makes it autistic? Is it the tangents? Is it the absent-mindedness? No, it's the bags. It's the It's the OC. It's the attentive OCD putting all the parts in bags before we build them. Look at that. Ooh. God, if Adrian Monk was looking at this, it would bring a tear to his eye. But welcome, one and all, to another stream. No starting soon today. But we are building the Gundam Alex. And we are... How deep are we into this? There's the torso. We've made the torso. And we've made the head. I thought we had made the arms. Ah, here are we know we're partway through the arms. Ooh. I mean, we got plenty left to do. And we still have to finish this before the new year. Come on. Come on. Push. Breathe. Ooh, but I hope everyone's having a good night. Ooh, I'm starting a little early, which is a bit risky because normally I start so late, so... Ooh, God knows if people will be ready for an early stream. Let's get to the part where we left off, which were still the arms. Oh God. And if the YouTube poll, and if the image in the corner didn't tip you off, ooh, I was somewhat entertained by the recent fight with Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua. Ooh. Let's see here. Jake Paul, who's pretty much been doing exhibition matches, you know, for entertainment purposes, and, you know, going up against either retired boxers or people past their prime. Well, he finally got into the ring with a heavyweight who was in his prime, or at least close to his prime, and it didn't go so well. Oh my God. Got his jaw broken in 2 places. I kind of respect that, you know. Ooh, means the first time he got his jaw broken, he was like, nah, I can still do it. I can still keep going. If my jaw broke, I'd just be like, you know what? Throw in the towel, coach, I'm done. Oh my God. I actually find it funny because I think like within an hour of him losing, like the moment he gained consciousness after losing, the first thing that came out was just like, yeah, we're moving down to cruiserweight. we're getting out of heavyweight. We're going to cruiserweight, guys. And like, if you win a match and you say you're gonna change weight classes, it can mean a lot of things. If you lose a match and you change weight classes, it means one thing in boxing. It means you got your ass beat so bad, you're like, yeah, you know what? Let's make it so that's not possible again. I never want to go through that again. Oh, goodness. Let's see here. It's actually also related to the boxing match. I saw this clip of some like teen influencer, some guy who's like 5'4", and he has a bunch of other friends who are like 5'4". You know, these just string bean zoomers. You know, don't to be fair, at that age, millennials, boomers, Gen Xers, they were all string beans at that age. But he's like going through the venue, you know, going to get to his seats to watch, you know, the Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua fight. As you do. And he's like kind of being rude. He's like bumping into people. And The guy's like 5 foot, like 6 at most or something. So he's like bumping into people, and you're just like, why is he doing this? And then you notice he has a massive bodyguard behind him, and it's like, oh. Because he thinks, because he has a bodyguard, he can have big dick energy. You don't. Welcome, Ricey. Welcome, Welky. World is healing on stream. But, well, welcome, Ricey. I forgot to move YouTube chat down, so let me do that now. There we go. But this kid with his, like, bodyguard are going through the venue. And he's just bumping into people. Because, again, he's like, nobody's gonna mess with me because I have this bodyguard. Problem is, one of the people he bumps into is, like, a UFC world champion. And that guy turns around the moment he gets bumped into. And he says something. And the kid is like, just keep walking forward. That guy's massive. The bodyguard is like, keep walking forward. The guy is like, that's a UFC. I know who that is. That's a UFC champion. But you know who didn't know who that guy was? The twink's friends. And there was a smaller, even skinnier twink who was like, I can fight this guy who's like 7 foot, who's 7 foot tall and 4 feet wide. Oh, it did! What? YouTube has been censoring my chat awful recently. Hold on, I'm gonna put that... Let me see if I can get that, I'm so sorry YouTube did that. YouTube has been extra awful recently. No, it didn't censor... it censored stream... Wait, it censored stream elements! That's... it censored stream elements because it's a bot! Oh my god! Get wrecked, bot! Oh my god, that's fucking hilarious! You weren't censored, it was stream elements, Ricey. It just went, no, you don't get to talk, robot. And it was the AI moderator. Oh my god, it went after the bot. This is bot on bot violence. Welcome, man. Welcome, Storm. I was in the middle of talking about a twink who thought he could take on a UFC fighter. Oh my god. What happened was, where was I? Oh yeah. Everyone knew that the guy was like 7 foot tall UFC fighter, and they're like, we're not gonna fight him, we're just gonna keep walking. But there's one person in the group who was like, I can take him, and this guy was like 5'6" and like 90 pounds wet. And he actually tries to punch this UFC champion. And the UFC champion just dodges it, because, you know, and what happens is the UFC champion, like, he kind of doesn't punch him. What he does is he does like a punch short to kind of get the guy to go away. You know, he's like, get distance. He's like, if I actually hit you, I could really hurt you. So what he did is he kind of did like that thing, you know, like where Goku, you know, throws a punch and then stops it short. But then the wind pressure, the guy was dodging, but it looks like the wind pressure from the guy's punch pushed the twink back, because the twink jumped back and fell on his ass. Ooh. Let's see here. And then another twink materialized out of nowhere and thought, I can take the UFC fighter. And then now we have like, now in the ring we have Twink Prime, you know, the influencer. We have his bodyguard who's like, I'm not fighting a UFC fighter, but I will stand in front of like the UFC fighter to keep you from fighting him. And 2 twinks fighting a UFC fighter. It's amazing. And what happens is actually one of the twinks gets a hit off by jumping for like the UFC fighter's like, you know, like making one of the small guys to keep a distance, and then the first twink, not the first twink, the like 90 pounds wet twink like jumps from behind the little twink and punches him in the head, and then they both run away because they realize they fucked around a little too much. It's a really funny video. In other news, Andrew Tate got knocked out by a reality TV show host. Oh my god! I also saw that, but I didn't get enough information on it. The Jake Paul thing has just dominated the air. It's insane. Okay, I see. Okay. Okay. Not quite sure how to close this up properly. Wearing pink gloves, no less. That TV host was doing God's work. Oh my god. I forgot, like I saw one post about that, the Jake Paul thing, but he also got absolutely wrecked. But hearing he got wrecked by a TV host is hilarious and believable. Everybody getting their ass kicked this weekend, and it's been amazing. It's been a good weekend to watch people getting their ass whooped. There we go. Let's get the hand on. Did I do that wrong? No, yes, I did, son of a bitch. Okay, so that's interesting. I have to put the hand on. I like have to assemble the hand. Okay. Normally you make the hand and you stick it on the arm. This one you have to actually put the hand in. Okay, now I see my mistake. Christmas came early. Oh, dude, all the shitbags are getting the crap beat out of them. It's amazing. Dude, the only way it could have been better is if also the Sam Hyde fight happened over the weekend with Hassan Piker. Oh my god, it would have been the perfect boxing weekend if Boxing Day came early, chat. For those of you who are not Canadian or English, Boxing Day is the day after Christmas. I think it's the day after Christmas, or is it the day? Yeah, it's the day after Christmas. Boxing Day came early, and people got shook-ted. Can I... Okay, I do not like this, because this is actually really difficult to do, to be honest. Let me see if I can get it. Ooh. I'm not a sports guy, but of all the sports that I care about, boxing is up there. Ooh, so for me, this has been a very entertaining weekend. Ooh. And at first I thought people were being a little harsh on, let's get this corrected. Ooh, no. Sorry, I thought people were being harsh on, because I didn't actually watch the fight live, so I only found out about it afterwards. But I thought people were being harsh on Jake Paul, because I thought he was like clinching and people were making fun of him clinching. And it's like, if you're just outmatched, the only way you don't die might be clinching, to be honest. However, no, what happened wasn't that he was clinching, it's that he literally was holding on. There are pictures of this, Jake Paul holding on to the shorts of Anthony Joshua, trying not to like fall to his knees, because he's just that fucked up. He's holding on to him, just like, I don't wanna get KO'd. And it's like, bitch, you're already halfway there. Just fall. Like, in one regard, I kind of respect that. He's just like, I don't want the KO. It's coming for you. Oh, God. Would be nice. Just rewatching Star Wars Revenge of the Sith still peak. Best of the prequels. Because George Lucas kind of was like, okay, I've made some mistakes. No, I'm not going to correct all of them. But I'm going to acknowledge some of them. He went back on a little bit of his excesses, and it has the most Palpatine in it, and in the prequels, everyone agrees. Like, you can talk shit about the prequels. Personally, I think people talk too much shit about the prequels, but no, everyone's just like, you can't talk shit about Palpatine. I forget the actor's name, but just every scene he's in, you're just like, he's evil and loving it. I love when he's turning Anakin to the dark side, and he's just like, oh yeah, you know, like, I know the way to save people's lives, you know, because I learned it from I have it backwards, because I learned it from Darth Plagueis. And then after Anakin falls to the dark side and he like goes to his knees and is christened Darth Vader, Palpatine goes like, yes, we shall like Anakin goes like, can we save Padme? And he goes like, yes, we'll figure it out together. It's like, well, hold up, figure it out. You said you knew. Wait a minute. This kind of has the energy of like, honestly, I didn't think I'd get this far from Palpatine. Ooh, but Revenge of the Sith it has one of the best openings in Star Wars. That battle sequence is peak. Ooh. You have arrived, welcome, Opus. I still itch how Disney Star Wars era sucks. It does. I have messed up these shoulders twice, haven't I? But I mean, they got a few good shows and a bunch of it really is that. I still need to watch Andor. Opus is gonna kill me if I don't watch Andor by next May. Ooh. It's a sanctioned killing, don't worry, chat. It's like made in Canada. It'll be legal. It'll be clean. And we need... Wait a second. Oh no, wait, no. I need the sleeves. Or... Oh god, did anything else I wish I had watched the god. I've seen parts of the Jake Paul fight, and what's this? Is this a sticker sheet or is this a what are you? Stickers, damn it, I thought I found a decal sheet. It's the same sticker sheet. But god, I wish I had watched both the Jake Paul and Andrew Tate fight live. I didn't even know that they were happening until after they were done. That's a crime. Though, the funniest part is if you look at the weigh-in photos for the Jake Paul fight, it's really fucking funny if you look up the weigh-in photos. Because, you know, before a match, they always do weigh-in to make sure that the opponents are, you know, about the same weight, so they're both, you know, qualified for the weight class. And you have Jake Paul, who looks like a middle-aged man who has, like... He looks like a guy past his prime. I'm gonna put it like that. He could still kick my ass, but at the same time, I'm not boxing. But then you have Anthony Joshua, and his weigh-in photo, it's like a fucking Greek sculpture. It's literally like your cousin, who's like, I go to the gym, bro, and you're like, sure you do. Versus Hercules. It's just like, you see it and you're like, this is gonna go terribly for this man. Yeah, I'm just supposed to have a tube. Of course you do, you know, like, who doesn't just have tube? Hold up. I do have tube. You know what, Japanese? You were right. I'm the Book of Nagai gene here. Not just Star Wars Disney, but Disney as a whole, Disney as a whole in general has gone downhill so bad. Can we tuck you in and get you in there? And it's just shameless too. It is just shameless how Disney has just become money. Ooh. but people pay him for it. They're like, yeah, I'll take a live action remake that's like nothing like the original and is an insult to the original concepts. Fucking fine. I want to watch Lilo and Stitch where Nani abandons Lilo at the end. Didn't you think that's what like Lilo and Stitch was missing? You know, Nani abandoning Lilo? Oh, but she has like a portal gun that she can portal back to Hawaii whenever if she has a portal gun, why did she go to California? It's because they thought of that after they finished the movie and they're like, we need to do a reshoot where she uses the portal gun to go back to Hawaii. But then it creates a plot hole of why is she paying for room and board in California if she can just fucking teleport there? It's because they didn't think of that shit. Then this is frustrating, but not nearly as frustrating as I thought it would be. I'll be honest with you, these slaves. Can't believe probably my favorite movie of this year is probably K-pop Demon Hunters. If you told me that K-pop anything was going to be my favorite movie of the year, I'd be like, the fuck are you talking about? What the hell even is that? Ooh. And not underselling K-pop, but also that not a lot of stuff came out this year. What else came out? Avatar: Way of Water Part 2. Ooh. It's called Fire and Ash, but then when you watch the movie, it's just more Way of Water. It's literally half the movie is just Way of Water again, and you're just like, wait a minute. This is just like they took two movies and made them into one. That's because they did. Way of Water and Fire and Ash were one movie, and they were one 3-hour film that they cut into 2 3-hour movies each. Fucking insane. Welcome, Ivan. Ooh. Teach me how to use Gundam Alex to commit war crimes. Gundam Alex. Actually, wait, no, Gundam Alex is a war crime because they developed it in a neutral colony. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say, actually, this was one of the cases. It was definitely a war crime. It would be more wild if the Force Unleashed canon. Force Unleashed is one of those things that when it came out, everyone was like, we know everything is canon, but this shit ain't canon. This shit's a little goofy, but we love it, but it's a little goofy. Well, dude's ripping Star Destroyers out of low orbit. It's a little goofy. It's fun as hell. You get to fight Darth Maul in it. Well, you get to fight Darth Maul in it, but it's still cool as hell. Duel of the Fates kicks in, and you're just like, this is amazing, and then the fight's over really quickly, because it's like the last stage of a fight, and he only has 10% health, but it's really cool for those, like, 2 seconds. I like that, I like how everyone is looking down on the current Middle East war, and Disney just makes films with Gal Gadot and an uglier MC. Oh, you're talking about Snow White, where it's just like they pissed off everyone because like you had Gal Gadot, who was part of the Israeli Defense Force, and she backed Israel. So all the people who hate Israel is like, I'm not gonna watch the movie. Then you had the other person who was like, the other side who was like, I love Hamas. So everyone who's like, well, Hamas is kind of also evil. So actually Hamas is more evil somehow. But you know, like they're both fucking bad. So fuck it. Nobody wants to watch the movie. Also, they were just insufferable. But yeah, that was also a shit show. I had to switch computers, no problem. I managed to get a overseas exclusive Sandrock Gundam custom and Gundam. Ooh. I'm happy because I know that I'm happy you were able to get those because those were reprinted recently. Those were made public recently, actually, for the 30th anniversary. I'm happy to hear you got those. Gundam Netflix show this year. Fuck, was Requiem this year? This has been a really long year for me. Was Requiem it was this year. Ugh. That movie didn't do so well because the live action... That movie was supposed to kick off like a franchise revival in the West for Gundam. It did not. It did not. Let's see here. What went wrong? Why did they redesign everything but the Goof custom in that show? They were like, the Gundam, it looks terrible. You know, the Zaku? No, 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 no. We need to make it look more... We need to, like, mess with everything's proportions slightly and just make it look that little bit awkward. But the Goof Custom, this is peak. I suppose that actually is why. Just the Goof Custom, they looked at it and they're like, listen, we can't fuck with this. we will remake all the other designs. We'll make the Gundam look like a Transformer. We'll make the Zaku's look like 40k mecha. Ooh, but we are not gonna fuck with the Goof Custom. That shit's peak. When a design is so good that not even Gaijin are willing to, like, change it. Couldn't find anything I wanted for dinner, so I'm having a junk food right now. Why aren't you having hamburger? Every stream we have built this, I have had hamburger before we have begun building it. Every stream, chat. I commit to the bit. Okay, be careful. Be careful. Why did I not pre-assemble these parts, you might wonder? Because I just wasn't thinking. I need to push that in. This is the most dangerous part. I'm wearing gloves that I can barely hold onto these with. The horror scene in Requiem was very cool. The rest isn't bad, but it's just uncanny. That's the thing. The animation felt like Igloo, in all honesty. It's better than Igloo. But Igloo is also like 20 years old. Like, Gundam Igloo is like 20 years old, so it's looking like those like mid to early 2000s UC CGI cartoons, animes, whatever. It always feels weird to call CGI animation animes, but I guess they are still animes. But the CGI animes, it feels weird to call them that. But it's better than that, but it reminds you of that. It has the same problem with it is that uncanny valley. It's Spirits Within, you know? It looks a lot better than Spirits Within, but it still has that issue where they should have either gone a more like 3D anime style, or just committed to making everyone be like they walked out of the Avatar films, but they didn't have enough budget for the latter, so they should have just made it anime. They should have just made it look more like the animation. It's this weird in between, never-ending hamburger. Exactly. Ooh. I need a propane, and I am not going to the propane store at this time. Fucking you ain't. If you're actually, I wouldn't recommend you grill, because you say you live in fucking New York, and I can imagine the weather fucking being good for that. And again, December is always schizophrenic. I don't know how bad it is. I don't know how bad it is in like that part of the neck of the woods, but December is such a schizophrenic season. It'll be like ice snow, you know, like I'm gonna drop a foot of snow where you live, and it's like, cool. Okay, it's been 2 days. Here's like 50-degree weather, and it's like, what the fuck? It was hold up. Like 2 days ago, it was 13 degrees with a wind chill of like negative. This is all in Fahrenheit, so sorry, international viewers. But it was like 13 degrees with a wind chill of like -5. And 2 days later, it's still like 50 degrees. How you doing? That's very much a jump of... That's pretty much like it going from 0 degrees to... That's a bigger jump, actually. No, it's about the same. That is the same jump as it going from 0 degrees Celsius to imagine in 2 days later, it just went to like 35 degrees Celsius for my international viewers. Imagine that, but also make all the... So it'd be more like if it went from like -5 or -10 degrees Celsius to just like 20 degrees Celsius in the span of like 3 days. It's like, what the fuck's going on? Gundam Netflix show uses Unreal Engine, and we know that Unreal Engine can be used because of Fortnite also uses Unreal, I think. But we know that like you can have like anime styles because there's a lot of things that use the Unreal Engine that has anime style models. So it was definitely a choice. And I don't think it was quite the right choice to have gone for the more in between anime and real style that they went with. And I feel like Bandai wasn't the most optimistic for it, because, like, again, didn't they only release, like, 2 kits for it? They only released the Zaku and the Gundam. They hedged their bets hard with that one. Am I doing this wrong? No, I'm not. You have 2 feet of snow already? Fucking. That is brutal. Thing is, we had like half a foot of... We've gotten like half a foot of snow twice, and then it's just melted. And then we just got like the half foot again. God knows if we're gonna have... Like, we might have a white Christmas. We might not. You never know in the Midwest. Hey, Unreal, with a passion. If you don't know how to use Unreal, the frames just drop straight to hell. That's the problem. If the developers don't know what they're doing, it's... Like, Unreal is... It's more accessible, but it's easier to fuck up, it seems. From, like, I'm not a developer, but... Oh, shit, I put that in backwards. Uh-oh. Okay, so... Shit. I don't know how I'm going to get this out, but I've put this one in backwards. Did I do that with any of the other ones? No. But I put a Vernier in backwards, because apparently that's something I can do. It is not idiot-proof. This kit, it does not earn the idiot-proof award. So, I'm sorry to say. No Zaku tank, no GM. No goof. Well, I thought there was a GM. Oh wait, models, yeah. No, they didn't do the models. Yes. I was thinking in the show itself. I was like, there is a GM in the show. Yeah, but there's a GM in the show. They fucking Bandai re-releasing it. They could have re-released the gym, and they were like, no. The goof custom was already on like Hobby Lobby shelf, so I guess that's them reprinting it. Hold on, let me find this real quick. That would have been a perfect opportunity to make a Zaku tank for like a high grade. People would have eaten that shit up, even if the show is good or bad. Bandai doesn't want people to be happy. They want problems always. Oh, I got it out. Now it's stuck in his armpit. Ooh. And I'm ragging on him, but I hear that the GM, maybe I'm just hearing wrong, but I hear the GM looked nice, or at least it had a mono eye that was visible through the visor, and that looked nice at the very least. I don't know how much it's on screen. Ooh. Let's see here, and then... Oh, I'm missing one of the Verniers. I've misplaced it. Oh, it's right here. Okay. Ooh. Where is my phone that has all my topics on it? Oh, there's a Master Grade Zaku tank and Master Grade's Magella attack tank. Third party or Bandai? Not that it's a problem if it's third party, because you know, if Bandai doesn't have it, just asking in general. Because I know there's a third party one, and I know that the people who made the Magella attack tank also made the third party people who made a Magella also made a Zaku, which is pretty simple because the Zaku tank is literally just half. If they have a Zaku Master Grade and a Master Grade Magella, it shouldn't be that difficult to make a Zaku tank. Okay, it was the third party you're talking about on Discord. I just wanted to double check. Not... I forgot to cut off a piece. Oh no, the worst case. I have to now dig through I have to now dig. Shit. Okay, I don't need that right now, but I should grab it so it's not lost forever. A sprue fell out. I think one of the weirdest things, going back to Avatar, I don't know if I want to watch the new one because I already said it's literally the last movie, but again, because what they did is they took the last movie and they just made it into 2 films. And how they did that wasn't because the first movie was so long it had to be 2 movies. It's because they just were like, we'll make more money if this is just 2 movies. So they made it into 2 films and just copied and pasted what happened in the first film, or sorry, in The Way of Water, and put into Fire and Ash. It's insane. And I don't know if I want to watch it, but I kind of want to watch it for like the horror of the experience. But at the same time, I've started watching Gundam X again, and I'm like, this is good, and I feel like I should really be watching good stuff. I feel like I should keep watching good stuff. I feel like I shouldn't jump into horrible. But I find it funny how everyone's favorite part of the Avatar movies are the villains. Ooh, Quark, everyone's just like, yeah, Quark's way more interesting. The Fire Woman, everyone's like, yeah, the Fire Woman is interesting. And then it's like Jake Sully, and people are like, chat, before I said Jake Sully, did you remember the main character of Avatar was named Jake Sully? Did you remember his wife is named Natiri? No. But when I tell you to imagine the general from the first Avatar movie, you're like, I know what that guy looks like. Immediately. Speaking of Zaku, I'm cleaning off nubs on the real grade Zaku. Oh my goodness. Bless your heart. God, that was the real grade Zaku, regardless of if you got the char or the mass production, that is the second real grade. Oh, my brother, since he's busy with school stuff, fucking bless your heart. Doing God's work, you is. Are you gonna sand down the nub marks on the piping? Ooh, or is there a limit to your love? Avatar: The Last Na'vi. That I'm surprised there's not more jokes about like crossovers with Avatar: The Last Airbender and Avatar James Cameron. I feel like it's just because Avatar is just not that interesting of a film franchise, to be honest. It's like its world is way more interesting than it. If you're into sci-fi, I know I'm probably the only one here who's into this, but if you're into sci-fi and speculative evolution and like sci-fi spaceships, the world of Avatar is so flushed out and so fucking cool. And then you just have this doggone terrible like story in it. You have this story that like has like realistic interstellar travel with everything considered on how it would work. And then you just have Pandora, which is just like, don't worry about it. You know, like we can combine the genetic material of 2 races from different planets, and how insane that is. And then does the Pandoran planet's like, no, I can just put a fungus in you and make it so you can breathe my atmosphere. And it's like, fucking when did that happen? It's just magic. It's literally magic versus science, but the science is way more compelling. I might got glass files, so I should be able to, but time consuming. All I do is I just kind of rotate them so they're not facing out. It's a little bit tedious, but I'm just like, just rotate it away from the point of view. Just rotate the piping nub marks just away from point of view. It's good enough. Doing that on a real grade though is insane. The panel lines of it are crazy shallow. I bet it's an early one, so it's an early real grade too, but I fucking bet. One thing, I don't know, you said you're cleaning it up, but one thing I'm curious about is if I'm gonna have to use this as an example. Should not be assembling it already, but I kind of have to, because if I don't, the arms are gonna come off. The arm tubes are gonna come off. But there's like not vents, but there's like little parts on the Zaku's like either side of it. I don't have my real grade, so I can't show you. But like there's parts on either side of it like this. And for me, they pop off all the time. And I want to know if that's a me issue or if that's just true for all of the real grades. There's always a weak spot on the real grades, but I want to know if that's just a universal issue. Whetstone. Ooh. But it's funny because for the villains again, everyone loves Quark because Quark is just the human spirit. He's just like, I'm gonna go to this alien planet and I'm gonna conquer it, and it's just like, yeah, like Jake Sully's the traitor. He's the traitor to humanity, and it's just, ooh, I did that wrong and I have to disassemble it. Actually, that gives me a chance to show this. This is what I got. It came with like an epoxy kit. What I realized is it's a really good, because how thin it is, it might be a good part separator. It's not quite tapered enough on the sides. So it's not quite the part separator I need. Actually, speaking of part separator, where is it? But people like look at Quark and they're like, I like that guy. He has indomitable spirit. Or they look at the new Na'vi villain, who's just like obsessed with fire, and she's just like, I like guns. I like to shoot things with these guns you've given me. And everyone's just like, what, wife material? Meanwhile, Jake Sully's like, I'm sad because I'm having trouble defending my family. And his wife is like, I'm going to kill a child. And it's like, where did this come from? It's like, and she's like, I do not like this child. It is human. It is not one of our child. It is not a Na'vi. Spider must go. It's like, fucking what? Natiri just going full child murderer was not on my bingo card. Ooh, but that also happens in the last Avatar movie. Then boom, unobtainium, day ruined. Oh, God. My day be so fine consuming Avatar content from speculative biology and mech design. It is fucking, it's clean! And then boom, unobtainium. My day is ruined. It pops off very easily, so I heard. Yeah, it fucking... Mine, I just want to know if that was just a me issue. There's always one part on every real grade before like the mid-20s, or at least every real grade I've built. Everyone that's before the mid-20s, there's one part of it that just pops off and you can't get it back on, and you have to glue it. Ooh. Like you can get it back on, but it's just gonna come off again if you don't glue it. Oof. This shit it's coming off, but my God, is it making it so it's like every inch. It feels like Verdun in this bitch. It feels like the Rhine during World War II. Every inch has to be hard fought for, every picometer. Holy shit. Come on, there we go. Pandora's every passport bro's wet dream. Jesus. Thing is, also it had like the people who worked on the designs were absolutely legendary. I mean, Wayne Barlow worked on like the animal designs, for example, of Avatar. And if you don't know who Wayne Barlow is, you might recognize Alien Planet, which was a Discovery Channel documentary about like, what if we discovered an alien planet and sent probes to it? And that's all it's about. It's just like a different planet and how life might evolve on it. And it's based off of a Wayne Barlow book. If you like the kaiju designs from Pacific Rim, a lot of those were designed by Wayne Barlow. Wayne Barlow is just a great creature designer, but also has a deep background in like speculative evolution and animal design. And that's why the animals are so well designed, how they have respiratory tracts separate from like their digestive tracts. Like if you notice, a lot of the animals have like, they breathe through like spiracles like above their, like at the base of their necks. You know, they don't breathe through their mouth, they breathe through those spiracles, and there's like this little detail, and you're like, oh my God. And then you just have the Na'vi and they're just blue people, and it's like, come the fuck on. Oh. Somebody open. Oh, why did it censor Opus? Yeah, but they use their tails to well, okay, maybe that's why it got censored. They use their tails to fuck. That wasn't the intent, but you know what? I don't care, it's funny. The intent was that they use their tails to like interface with animals and each other. And if they do it while fornicating, it's like super sex. But all people took away from that was just like, so are they screwing the animals too? Like, ooh. Jimmy kind of messed up with that one. That reminds me, a bunch of, I'm being a little bit sarcastic with it, but a bunch of like reviewers have like started calling like James Cameron and like James Gunn like Jimmy Gunn and like Jimmy C, and it's just like, you don't know these people. Ooh, like what the fuck is going on? Just, yeah, Jimmy C, you know, fucking Grace Randolph, I think is her name. Is just like, what the fuck? They're calling him that like you know him. Ooh. Oh god. Navi I feel might be alien to Pandora. Every animal there has 6 limbs, but not the Navi people. There's one piece of speculative evolution that explains that, and that is if you see the monkeys in the first movie, you can actually see that I'm gonna show my elbow. Their arm splits. They have like 4.5 limbs. Because what happens is that their lower arm is fused and their arm splits at the elbow. Ooh, and that's supposed to be what happened to the Na'vi, is that their upper arms fused together into 2 sets of arms. Now, why that might happen is simply to make it so it's more efficient for them walking, so they're less, you know, ungainly while, you know, they are walking around. However, what happened to the extra fingers? Because, you know, like, did their old hands become vestigial and like, you know, just go away? It raises more questions. But the closest we get an explanation to that is the monkeys with fused forearms. Ooh, actually not forearms, but you know what I mean. But they do feel alien. Maybe they were alien. Maybe they were an alien species that tried to colonize Pandora in the past, and then the planet just subsumed them. Ooh. Because apparently the planet can do that. It can just rewrite your biology. So maybe that is what happened. Which is kind of horrifying. If you go to Pandora, you're just doomed to become another life form of Pandora because it just has a super organism that lives inside of it. Oh, they're connected to animals? Does that mean they're, yeah, that's the problem. Does, like, you're supposed to be like, it's super intimate because they're connecting to one another while they're boning. And then everyone was just like, wait, if it's so intimate when they're doing it with each other, what about when they're doing it with animals? And Jimmy was just like, don't worry about it. No. Don't think about it, because I fucking didn't, said James Cameron. It's typically not a good sign when, like, the average Joe Smo is thinking more about the movie than the people who made it. That's usually a bit of a red flag. And this is annoying. This is not going in right. Oh, God. My boy Starkiller is too strong. If he want to make him a canon, they gonna nerf my boy so bad. That's the thing. Because he's a video game character, so he's supposed to be a little OP and fun. But you just couldn't have that in canon. He's insanely powerful. There we go. Okay. So how you're supposed to put it in is pretty much at an angle that I don't know if it tells you that. It kind of tells you that to, like, put it in, you have to put it at an angle. So I was just not reading the instructions quite right. Fair play. And then this goes on like this. But also, Dave Filoni would have to write him. If anyone was gonna make Starkiller canon, it would be Dave Filoni. And I'm not saying like Dave Filoni would have to know. Only Dave Filoni knows he exists, and I ain't gonna trust Dave Filoni after the Ahsoka show. I ain't trusting Dave Filoni with Starkiller. He's gonna introduce Starkiller just to have him killed off by Ahsoka or something. Make him super weak, make it so that he can't do shit, make him a complete pushover, and then he's just killed by Ahsoka. He'd do some shit like that. Ooh. It'd be absolute disrespect from the word go. Oh, finally done building the torso of the real Grade 2.0. Time to combine it with the super robot, I mean, like in the show. I do love how the original Gundam, I was thinking of that earlier today, how the original Gundam, even though it's like the first real robot, it has so much shit that's still super robot coded, like all the toyetic, you know, the Gundam just fuses with this like flying jet so it can become like half Gundam, half jet and fly around. That's so fucking super robot coded. All the combining features and like what that they took out of the movies and whatnot, the compilation movies. All that shit is so fucking like super robot coded. It was a bit of a it was the genre teething, but then by the time you get to there's even still some super robot feel in Zeta Gundam, particularly at the finale. But I like how despite revenue it got, all of Avatar's 2 cultural impact is the bad crop is gonna starve meme. Everyone's just been talking about that even before it came out. Not before it came out, before the new Avatar came out. All people were talking about is just the fact that like these movies made a shitload of money and they have had zero cultural impact. Like on technology and filmmaking and CGI and whatnot, like they've had an impact there, but people don't mean like they've had a like that kind of impact. They mean like it's not like say Star Wars. When it came out, everyone was like, we need to make movies with spaceships and shit, bro. People love it. Nobody was like, I need to make nobody was like, I need to make Pocahontas in space like James Cameron. Nobody was saying that after Avatar. People were like, wow, that was really, what did I just watch? Anyways, I'm gonna go home and fuck my wife. That's what people did. that's what people's reactions were. They forgot about the movie as soon as they left. They went back 10 years later. It's actually like 15 years later. Holy shit, is the first Avatar old. But they come back to watch Way of Water and they're like, wow. You know, they come out of the movie theater, they're like, wow, like I just watched, what did I just watch? Ah, whatever, I'll go home and fuck my wife. You know, that's all it is. It's just, you watch the movie and you're like, I just saw something, and it's like, what did you watch? No idea. And it's remarkable how he's done this. Starkiller is Kratos, but in space. But yeah, I mean, he is Kratos because Force Unleashed is very God of War, classic God of War coded, which is why it's so fucking cool, which is why it's so fun. You're pretty much Kratos with force powers running around causing havoc in Star Wars. Why, like that's just a fucking recipe for an instant classic. I'm full of beans. This doesn't feel right. That's because it's not right. So, oh, okay, I was like, where's the bottom plate that goes on? Hold up, chat. I need to be really stupid. I'm being really stupid. Hold on. Give me a second, chat. I'm being extra dumb. Ready Player One. Did that make a lot of money though? That was literally like, remember the 80s? Hey, do you remember The Shining? Hey, have you seen Gundam? Remember Mechagodzilla? Hey, remember Back to the Future? That's all the movie fucking was. That's all that movie was. You watched it in theaters? God bless you. You forgot about it? The one movie I will never forget about after watching, it's a good movie, but it's not for the movie itself, will always be is it Rise or Dawn? I forget which one comes first, but the first like prequel Planet of the Apes movie, and it's fun. It's a good movie, and you watch it for the first time when Caesar talks, you're like, holy shit, that monkey just talked. But after the movie, I remember coming out of the theater, talking to like a friend, and the people in front of me, the guy right in front of me, talking to his own friend, just says loudly, "Dude, man, I just saw that ape say 4 words." And it's just like, that's the movie. At the end of the like prequel Planet of the Apes movie, you will come out of it going, "Dude, man, I just saw an ape say 4 words." And you believe you did. You believe you just watched an ape go from an ape to an intelligent creature over the course of that movie. And that's the best part of the movie. Ooh, the character work with a character who can only go, like, who can do sign language, and I think over the course of the movie says 4 or 5 words. It's actually really good. Andy Serkis does an amazing job as Caesar. Ooh. That's a move. Then you had the second Planet of the Apes, which wasn't as good. Then you had War for Planet of the Apes, which was like, okay, I guess we kind of set up a trilogy with the last movie, and this is tying it up. And it's like not the worst thing ever. Then they made a 4th prequel, and nobody watched it, and hopefully it's dead now. Hopefully that's just done. A film with a giant Gundam. There's a Gundam in like Ready Player One for like 1 or 2 scenes. Don't quote me like how, don't quote me when. I've just seen it and it looks good. The model for the Gundam in Ready Player One does look really good. Oh, Planet of the Apes prequels is like a reverse God of War. I'm gonna need an explanation to that one, because I haven't played through the God of War games. Ooh. God of War was a dumb, fun sequel. Contextualize it to make. Oh, okay. Okay, I see what you mean. I don't think the sequel like contextualized it as much as a lot of people just didn't appreciate it, because the originals are still like have their stupidity to them. But I really hated it when God of War. I didn't play them, but I watched like the stories and whatnot for the God of War 3. And when like God of War, the new God of War came out, I was actually really annoyed when people like the old God of War was just stupid and had no story. It's like, no. The scene, like there are parts in God of War 3 especially where there is some like heavy story beats, like when he's with Pandora and Pandora, God, the scene when like Pandora sacrifices herself to give Kratos the power to kill Zeus. But like Kratos is like, I'm not gonna let an innocent girl die because you remind me of my innocent daughter who I killed. He doesn't say this, but like through context clues, we understand this is why. And he's like holding on to Pandora and he's like, no. Like you can see it in the characters' like expressions. You can understand through what's been built up in the story. He's like, I can't let this girl die. And then Zeus is just like, pussy. And Kratos is just like, she wants to die to kill this man, and I understand. And he lets go and just starts killing Zeus. Fuck it. Zeus literally is just like, I can't let Pandora die. However, first, I need to go insult Kratos. I need to antagonize the one person who's stopping the thing that'll let me die. Fucking idiot. Though that's also contextualized in it with him like being he had fear or pride infect him when Pandora's box was opened in the first game. While you know the deep trilogy will eventually lead to the goofy original Planet of the Apes. The original Planet of the Apes, I will not call goofy. The sequels I will call goofy, because Planet of the Apes had a lot of sequels which were fucking goofy. But if you actually go back and watch the first Planet of the Apes, sure, it's like, you know, the prosthetics might look goofy today, but there's some good story in there, and they're like, there's good build-up. How, like, the scene builds up when he's just like, get your paws off me, you damn dirty apes, because at that point, he's mute. And for today, when he says, get your paws off me, when that movie came out, that was like the scene, like, well, that scene for the apes, you know, when they're all like, holy shit, this guy just talked. That's like in Rise of Planet of the Apes, when Caesar says no, his first word, when he says, no! And all the apes and the audience are like, holy shit, that monkey just talked. Ooh, which is actually really good part of the movie when Caesar says his first word, and like the apes in the movie all are like going crazy, and then they stop and they're just like, holy shit, that ape just said a word. Like that thing just said a human word, and like you as the audience are like, holy shit, that just happened. There are depths of the OG games, but the new games did kind of retcon some. Yeah. The new games are like definitely deeper and take their time more. There's a lot of people when the new game came out just like undersold the original game so hard. I mean, and to be fair, I mean the original creator of God of War was kind of like a bit of an edgy boy and tongue-in-cheek. Like when you're in Athens and if you kill, you know, the Athenians, Athena goes, congratulations, that's how you get blood orbs or whatever, and it's like, okay. He's been a little tongue-in-cheek here. Haven't slept for 6 months, and I'm starting to see Tyler Durden. Ooh, I know fucking Tyler Durden. I might be dumb, but everyone knows Tyler Durden. Let me get the rest of the pieces out. Like when Kratos first got the Blades of Chaos, they retcon it from wanting to destroy his enemies to him having no choice if he wants to protect his home place. That's actually a good, that's a fair retcon, but yeah, how originally it's just like, I lost a battle, Ares, give me the power to fuck this dude up. Having that go from like, Ares, give me the power to like, you know, fuck this dude up to protect my family, and then Ares is like, yeah, this guy's really strong, but his family's holding him back. I need him to be full Sith mode. You know what? I'll have him kill Padme. I mean his wife. I'm gonna make my #1 guy become my #1 hater. What's the worst that could happen? You know, several days later, Blades of Chaos are just in Ares' heart, and he's like, shit, I could not have seen this one coming. God, the end of the first God of War, though, is a real... It's a good Greek tragedy, because he beats Ares, and Ares is like... I'll get to Kai's in a second. But he beats Ares, and Athena's like, yeah, you beat Ares, and he's like, yeah, can I have my family back now? And she's just like, no. They're dead. And he's just like... But the gods promise a lot of things, Kratos. We needed you to kill Ares. He was gonna kill all of us. Thank you. And Kratos is like... Oh, and he just goes to a cliff face and jumps off, and right before he hits the water, he just gets carried back up to the cliff face and is seated into the throne of Ares, and Athena goes like, not so fast. We still need a God of War, and Ares is dead, and we thought, you know what? You're the next best thing. So congratulations, you're the God of War. Such a fucked up ending in the first one. But also, the curse that makes it so that he can't end himself also explains how he survived God of War 3. Because he can't do it. The one person who can kill Kratos is Kratos, and Kratos isn't allowed to kill Kratos. It's pretty much the canon. The only person strong enough to kill Kratos is himself, and he has a magic spell that makes it so that he can't do that. But, okay. Posted pic in a work in progress. I'll check that in a second. There's something weird about the torso. I feel like the gap on the cockpit door, a little large. I'll check it out. Having a regret killing the gods and NPCs like the captain of the God of Light and Sun. Helios, yeah. Yeah, I have seen that. It's like, yeah, Helios did help me in the past, and I was kind of invading his home, and he had good reason to like try to stop me. Yeah, that was kind of an unnecessary kill. And in the God of War 3, it does kind of acknowledge how like unnecessary it all is. I mean, he tries to end himself at the end of God of War 3 because he sees his regret. Like, it's like he sees what he's done and he's like, I've done something horribly wrong. Best viewers know. He's like, I've done something horribly wrong. I'm just trying to find a bag that I'm apparently missing. and he tries to end himself, but then like God of War, well, it says God of War, which is so fucking annoying, but God of War and God of War Ragnarok, God of War 4, but that's not, let's just call it God of War 4. God of War 4 and God of War Ragnarok build upon that regret that we get like so little, that we see just a little of in God of War 3's ending. Ah, there they are. The bags were at an awkward angle. That's why I couldn't find them. I love good stories. Ooh. Before its time, I mean, like, God of War was considered, like, good storytelling in gaming. It might not hold up today, but it's just... God of War 3, like, you know, Halo, like the Halo trilogy, or Twilight Princess, for their time, they were considered step forwards in story. We might look at them now and see them as antiquated, but... I almost kind of feel like that's somewhat of our loss for not appreciating what they were for their time. I am looking now for something... here it is. Ooh. And I actually want to... I'm not sure which paint I want to use. You know what? I think I'm just going to stick with black because I did black on these joints. I wanted to use the some metallic gray that I got, some like gunmetal, but I think I'm gonna use the gunmetal on the blue. Ooh. That'll have to wait until later, and I already have the black paint out. Yeah, but building off that regret was definitely a good choice. What I find crazy is when people like, this is not the same character from the old God of Wars, and it's like, no, we still see, like, firstly, we still see him have that berserker rage, but also with, like, Kratos, like, in the original God of War, whenever, you know, the rage and hatred, like, subsided, he would look at what he did and be like, one of the biggest characteristics of Kratos is that when he's in the moment, he can do terrible things, but the moment he's snapped out of it, the moment he's done doing something, he looks at what he's done and he's like, son of a bitch, what have I done? That is like Kratos' biggest character in both the original God of War and in the Ragnarok series, let's call it. He's constantly fighting with that part of himself. He's like, I could just go berserk and ruin everyone's day. But then I also ruin my own day, and I ruin the day of innocent people. So how about I don't do that? Like, I literally destroyed the Greek pantheon because I didn't know when to stop. Having, okay, that long pause between the games is really nice. It actually gave us the Kratos time to think about the past. Yeah, it gives him more time to think as well. It's not like, say, Luke Skywalker in... My brain's melting. In The Last Jedi, where, you know, we just come back to... We leave him off as a hopeful, you know... as the last Jedi and the first both the last and first Jedi of the galaxy who shall usher in a golden age and is a beacon of hope. That is how Return of the Jedi ends. It's literally called Return of the Jedi. And then The Last Jedi, which is 2 movies later, so we go from Return of the Jedi to The Last Jedi in like with 1 movie in between. Fucking insane. But the next time we see him, he's just a mopey bastard who's like, yeah, I wanted, like, I thought, you know, I saw my nephew having bad dreams, so I was gonna kill him, but then I failed at killing him, and he killed everyone else instead. And it's like, well, when did this happen? You know, I saw evil within him, so I was going to kill him. Hold up, Luke Skywalker, the guy who redeemed Darth Vader, the second most evil person in the galaxy, is going, yeah, my edgy nephew was being edgy, so I was going to kill him because that's just too evil. Fucking absurd. You know? Meanwhile, Kratos, again, always had that, like, once everything calms down, once the adrenaline leaves him, he looks at what he's done and he's like, son of a bitch, I did it again. But when he's a man with a mission, when he has that goal, he's gonna go for it, and he's going to let nothing stand in his way. His greatest strength is his greatest weakness, which is just the tragedy of the character. God of War builds off of Kratos' character, while The Last Jedi detracted from Luke's character. It's crazy how we're pretty much getting better writing, mostly in games nowadays. Kratos canonically lost to the Shovel Knight in between 3 and 4. He's jumping between universes, I could believe it. Oh shit. I'll have to live with that. I'm gonna get rid of those best viewers from Twitch, by the way. I'm gonna lose YouTube chat for a second while I do it. Ah, YouTube chat, where have you gone? There you are. Oh, when I'm young, I used to watch God of War Let's Plays, and when I have cutscenes of, I don't know, Aphrodite or female characters, how that was the little bit of the edgy part of God of War, where it's just like, here are just the women, bare-breasted, and you know what? The target demographic was 14-year-olds, so I mean, he was giving the customers what they wanted, if nothing else. Back when you were watching anime with fully clothed women, I was playing God of War with bare-breasted Aphrodite. I was doing a quick time event to lay my pipe within her. God bless the immaturity of older games. I fucking love it, to be honest. Edgy, more like emo with the pinch of Shin from Gundam Seed Destiny. Speaking of edgy and emo. Actually, I'm gonna do another karaoke next month. I just really want to. I want to do a fucking... I don't know if you guys are gonna know this band, but I really want to do a Fall Out Boy karaoke. It's just that perfect level of just like, teen angst and sincerity that I'm like, I can have a lot of fun singing this. Ooh. But I'm excited about that. That's gonna be early January. Actually, January is actually really filled up now that I think about it. I'm not sure when. It might have to wait until the second week of January. I just realized I actually don't know when I'd have time to do that in January, but it is gonna happen. I really want to do a fucking Fall Out Boy karaoke. You guys might not even know that band, and if you don't, that's gonna be funnier to me. Because he might be like 3 Days Grace. No. We're going younger. We're going more edgy. You know, 9 Inch Nails. No, that shit's timeless. 9 Inch Nails is timeless. We need very peak mid 2000s. That's what we need. We need peak mid to late 2000s edge. I need to show you a time capsule, chat. Hearing background song makes me remember the theme song before 6 p.m. news. Oh god, I'm not sure which one that was, but Halo makes people think of a lot of things. I'll get to you in a second, man. There we go. Oh man, I love COD Modern Warfare 3, not the remake version. The original version is so peak. One of the best CODs I've ever known. It wouldn't surprise me if it's like Halo 3, where that's just where they locked in for the multiplayer. God knows about the story. Probably like Halo 3, they probably took a lot of liberties with the story. But it's probably really satisfying, but not the best written. Like Halo 3, but I'm willing to bet the gameplay is probably That's when they really figured it out, because it's always like, you have in video games, at least in the 2000s, what you'd have is the first game, which was the experiment, and it's very interesting and cool, but it has a lot of to be desired, like Combat Evolved, Halo Combat Evolved. Then you have the sequel, which is, you know, playing off the success of the first one, advancing on it, but they're not really sure what the hell they're doing, so it's a little bit of a rough ride. I need to find Sanding Sticks. And it's an improvement, but you can see how they kind of had to push it out the door before it was ready. Like God of War 2, like Halo 2. And then the third one, they're like, okay, wait, we have half the formula. We're gonna actually lock in and figure out how to make a complete product this time. And then that's how you get, you know, like, that's how you get Halo 3 with its amazing multiplayer. Story has problems, but the multiplayer is still some of the best. It's probably still the best Halo multiplayer of all time. And I did not get to play Halo 3 multiplayer when it first came out. I want to make that perfectly clear. I didn't get to play it until it was re-released with the Master Chief Collection on PC. And compared to everything else, when you compare it to Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo Reach, Halo 4, just because it's also there. But if you compare it to the Bungies, let's just get Halo 4 off. You compare it to any of the other Bungies, even Halo Reach that came after, Halo 3 is still the best Halo. Because it's the most refined. Halo Reach is when they started to experiment again, when they tried to like reinvent the wheel. And it has good things in it, but it still has problems. And I need to find a sanding. Ooh, I'll carry on until I burn Orb Nation. We'll carry on, Shin parody. Fucking. Oh, cool. The creator of COD just died today. God, fucking Jesus. Oh man, you like Call of Duty? Did you know that the creator of Call of Duty died today? Here's a cool fact for you. Jesus fucking Christ. That's slightly, you know what? We should put that on slightly interesting for Reddit. That's slightly interesting. You brought up COD. Coincidentally, the creator died today. Imagine after fucking Ricey typed that into his computer, he just like leaned back in a high back chair. Ooh, and just put his and just steepled his fingers together and just waited. He was just like, and now we wait. I need to find the standing. COD, when still made with a passion for games, under the prime era of Infinity Ward and Activision, prime era of Battlefield versus COD, dude, that was a good era. Ooh, in gaming in general, late 2000s was a fucking peak era for gaming in general. Hold on, I need to find, there are the Sanding Sticks. Okay, so I need 5,000, that's 5,000 again. This is 7,000, and that's 7,000 again. That's 2,000. That's 2,000. There's 3,000. Okay. You're evil, but not that evil. Working. Now this track right here is something I'd expect from like a news agency that takes itself a little too seriously. Bomb, 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 bomb. News at 11 with your host Stacy Margaret's and John Dover's. I just tried to think of the most generic white people names that weren't John and Jane Doe. I wonder what the John Smith of other countries are. Just the name where it's just like the most common first and last name. And some places, like, you know, in some, like, Middle Eastern countries, I think it'd be a little obvious. But, I don't know, like, what's the John Smith of Japan, I wonder? I thought Merrick know from which song that lyric was, even though they changed the lyrics a little bit, the facepalm. I was expecting Merrick to read, like, My Chemical Romance. Nah, we're going, no, that's too mainstream. Too mainstream. No Chemical Romance. Instead, I got a Roman poetry style. Ooh. No. Too mainstream. Fall Out Boy. It needs to be more, not whiny enough, chat. It needs to be more whiny. Ooh, Black Ops 7 is totally off rail and even terrible. That is a real cut. It's canon to the Black Ops. Irony is one of the COD games that oh my god. Yeah, it got like Resident Evil ass bosses and shit. I've seen that. It's insane where COD has like gone. It's like it's trying to compete with Fortnite. So now you have like Nicki Minaj and shit, and like you're like Beavis and Butthead firing off at Nicki Minaj and fucking Call of Duty. It's like, what are we doing? Meanwhile, you have Battlefield, which is just like, we're gonna go back to being a Battlefield game and we're not gonna do any gimmicks. Our gimmick is that we're just gonna return to form, and everyone is like, you are man, you are homie. What's that? Like, it's not like, oh, it's not like the near distant future warfare. No, it's just you're on a you're in a battlefield. That's it. Fucking awesome. That's what I want with a game. I'm a simple man. In Vietnam, I definitely oh, for Vietnam, I can't fucking pronounce that. For the surname, the most common surname is fucking something I can't pronounce. That's an NGU. There's like a Y-E-N. You might be like Y-E-N, that's a yen. There's a symbol I don't think I've ever seen in my fucking life in English over that E. There's like an X over the E. I don't know what the fuck's going on with that. I cannot read that. I don't know. It doesn't help that that's NG, and just the only way I can see that being is Nigu. And that's already dangerous. Niguyen. Nuguyen. That's dangerous to say. That's dangerous to say in English. The last monarch was a Nigian. I still don't know. So everyone who had the surname of the previous monarch changed their surname so they don't get killed. Well, it seems about right when there's a revolution. And others change their names to... That's the same fucking word. So they might get... so they might or might not get killed. The symbol over the E must be different or something. Sorry for speaking so close to the mic. But it's just like they changed their names to Niguyen, or they changed their names to Niguyen, and I don't know if that's supposed to be a different fucking word. Into total royalty. If the name, if you could become like fucking Pendragon, you know, I mean, if the name was free game, I mean, I'd fucking name myself Pendragon. That's pretty fucking cool, to be honest. Police usually called unidentified suspects or bodies John or Jane Doe. I guess they wouldn't call them John and Jane Smith because that was a little too on the nose. But Doe is like an uncommon last name, or actually I don't know if it's even a name. But John and Jane, just very common. According to one of my friends who work as a policeman, a John Doe is an unidentified... It's not an unidentified body as much as it's an unidentified person. It's just usually if somebody's unidentified, it's because they're dead and they can't tell you, so it's a John Doe. Meanwhile, if they're alive, usually they're like, I'm John Smith, because I can't think of a name right now. Oh, I knocked these pieces off by accident. That's what song. Niguin. Is sufficient. Okay. Oh, here's the piece, and this is going like real slow. I've got all these things out, but this is... Ooh, I'm having fun talking though. And then this goes on, like this. No. Like this. Then this goes on like this. Jane Doe, Goated song by Kenshi. Ooh, I'm not familiar with it. Actually, that reminds me of the song. Ooh, just songs with women's names. I don't like Janie's Got a Gun. Ooh, that's like one of those boomer songs where boomers are like, this is one of the greatest songs ever, and then you listen to it and you're like, but why though? It's like Don't Fear the Reaper. You listen to the first like 2 minutes, you listen to the first minute and a half of Don't Fear the Reaper and you're like, this is a good song. And then just keeps going on a guitar solo that's not good enough. Like for a guitar solo for another 2 minutes, and it is not a good enough guitar solo to go on for another 2 minutes. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. It's a fine guitar solo, but it is not like a 2-minute guitar solo worthy, and it just keeps going, and you're like, nah. Nah, man. You are not Clapton. You are not Brian May. You are not Jimi Hendrix. Get the fuck out. I will be that guy. Saying that remind me. I've already talked about that scene from The Expanse, but that's still a good scene from The Expanse. You're not that guy. Stops a dude from like executing someone. The guy who is going to be executed. Oh, thank you for saving my life. You know, lets the guy out of the room, turns around. I am that guy. Raises the gun, bang. You're not that guy. I fucking love Ambrose. Oh god, Ambrose is one of my favorite characters in all of fiction. You're not a heartless monster who could just kill a man. I am. Legend. My late dad only changed the spelling letter a bit, but pronounced it is the same when with Camille. Did he get into fights with people because it's like, it's not a girl's name? And then next thing you know, he's part of a revolutionary task force. Jesus Christ. The history books of Gundam have to be some of the funnest shit to read. Like imagine 1 Year War, one of the most important people in the 1 Year War was just like the son of the guy who designed the Gundam. And he got into like, you know, he got into the Gundam and defended his home and whatnot. And it's like, oh, so heroic. And then you go to like, you know, the next war, the Grips conflict. And it's just like, yeah, a Gundam got stolen again. And you're like, what? Yeah, this time it got stolen by like someone who was even younger. And the Gundam was already being piloted at the time. And you're like, wait, what? And it was by some like dude named Camille. And you're like, okay, this is getting weird. And then you find out that same Gundam then you find out the Zeta Gundam got stolen in the first Neo Zeon War. And you're like, what? And it's like, it was stolen by some fucking guy named Judo, who ironically was not very good at hand-to-hand combat because he got his ass beat. It's just like, what the Then you find it in Gundam Unicorn, they stole a Gundam again. They just need to put like a fucking password on Gundams. They really fucking do. This shit keeps happening. They keep losing Gundams to like 14 to 16-year-olds. They gotta do it. And they do get younger as they go on. Gundam Victory, the kid's like 12 years old. They keep getting younger. 16 was Amuro. Camille was 15. Judo, despite looking older than both of them, was 14 somehow. Ooh, it's a train. It's a chainsaw movie. It's on. Maybe they're inspired by Halo. Give me 1 minute. This is gonna be... I need to both clean this up and also add more paint. It's gonna be a pain. But I need to first get out everyone's favorite lighter fluid. Hold your breath, chat. Casfell Decum chapter, be going crazy. Casfell Decum would also be a funny part if you just were in the history books. Because every time you would just have what it'd be in the history books is like Char Aznable, and then there'd be a star next to his name, and he'd be like, oh, you know, then you'd check the notes on the page, and it'd be like Casval Decum, son of, like, you know, the former Zeon Decum, and you're like, oh, that's kind of crazy. Then you'd go to the Grips conflict and be like Quattro Bagina, and then you'd be like star, and then be an asterisk next to it again, and you'd go down to the bottom of the page and be like, oh, what does it say at the bottom of the page? Casval Decum, son, and you're like, wait a minute. Then you'd get to full frontal, and then you'd go and have a star by it, and then it'd be like new, like, I forget what he is exactly. I forget if he's a clone or if he just like remade his face in the form of Decum, like he had surgery to look like Decum. I can't remember which one, but you just go to the bottom of the page and it just says that, and you're just like, not only is this man like having multiple identities, but even after he dies, people are like, I am that guy. It's like, I'm that guy, bro. And you just look at his military record and you're like, was he ever that guy? And you look at it and you're like, no, he wasn't. He was never that guy. People act like he was, but he wasn't. Oh, funny enough, in the Magic and Knight series, Isekai Mech, the main character invented key system so that their Knight mech cannot be stolen for the second time. If only the Federation had that, I was gonna say foresight, but I mean, it's hindsight at this point. They're like, it can't happen again. Guys, this has happened. Like, we've had our mech stolen, like, 5 times. It can't happen again. It happens again. Shit. How does this keep happening? Maybe if you, I don't know, password protected the mechs, bro. Who gonna win? The canon Luke Skywalker or Starkiller in Force Unleashed? If it's fucking if it's like Disney canon, fucking Force Unleashed, Starkiller, absolutely. If it's expanded universe Luke, holy shit. Starkiller gets up to some crazy shit. But expanded universe Luke, they literally start having to write excuses to why he can't just win. Why they can't just write him into the story and be like, yeah, everything is resolved because Luke is OP. Luke, who they throw into a fucking volcano, and what he does is he just meditates in the Force and then just levitates over the magma and then just levitates. Like, he meditates, so he's levitating, and he just levitates to the edge of the volcano and then just like climbs out. And you're just like, you gotta think about what the people were thinking who threw him into the volcano. Just watching this shit happen, just like, so this is just a bullshit universe. We just threw that man in, and he learned to fly in all of 2 seconds so he wouldn't die. Like, what are we even fucking doing here? If I saw that, I'd either just, like, give up or just take a blaster and shoot myself in the head at that point. If I saw Luke Skywalker literally fucking levitating, I'd just be like, I'm done. I'm done. What can you do to this man? Fucking late expanded universe Luke is such a fun character because he's just space Jesus. He's Space Jesus who always rolls nat 20s. It's just like, we're done. But he's still a compelling character. Well, I'm not being facetious when I say that. He is, because they actually do find ways to hamper him, to find ways to make it so that he can't just run around being a one-man solution to everything. I got thinner, but I think this is enamel paint, so it won't work on it. Oh, it's acrylic paint. I got acrylic thinner, actually. So, that's actually really good. I'm actually gonna go get the acrylic thinner then. Let me actually clean off this brush so it doesn't harden. But, where is it? I almost tripped over that. That's dangerous. I got thinner. So maybe if I can do this, I'm not quite sure. This is going to be very experimental. We're going to get a little bit of paint here. I'm going to try to get some thinned paint so we can better apply it to this corner piece. Ooh, we could do experiment live on stream. My favorite part of Gunpla streams, the experimentation. Okay. Now I'm not quite sure how much thinner we should be using. They did password the unicorn Gundam, and the creator unlocked it for his son. Okay. Okay. Fair play. Stupid thing is, the enemy from the neighboring kingdom did try to steal the latest mech, and the enemy's face when they tried to start the mech is priceless. I bet. He's like, I've seen Gundam. What's this bullshit? You can't just... Fucking guy probably watched Gundam and then was like, wait a minute. I can't just jump in this and take it? That probably is too much thinner, but I didn't expect so much to come out. Also, like, diluting it into a different color a little bit. I've never used thinner before. So, it's a first time for everything. But the goal here... Try... and have the thinner go into the crevices. Okay, we put too much thinner in. That's a pain. Okay. We're gonna absorb a little bit of the paint. Put that there. We're gonna add a little bit more paint back to the mixture. So, if it loses its color, that's a sign we've added too much thinner, which was an accident. But now we know that. Now we know when we add too much. Ooh, Halo fucking Halo's main theme, Halo, is one of the hardest themes in all of, like, not only gaming, but just soundtrack history. You get fucking hyped when you hear just the Gregorian chanting, and then it goes into the strings, and then the drums kick in, and then you just get more chanting. But it goes from the Gregorian chanting to, like, the woman howling. Like, ooh. Okay, we need to add... This is such a... We're getting closer to the right mixture. It's annoying because every time I do it wrong, I have to wipe it out. Like, that's not too bad, but... I effectively have to make panel liner is what I'm trying to do. And it is surprisingly difficult for a first time. Normally I get pretty lucky when I mix paints, but apparently I do not get lucky when I mix liner or thinner. I just don't think it's worth it doing this. It's just creating more and more of a mess inside of the piece itself. Like I want that extra panel lining, but it just doesn't seem like it's gonna be worth it. Speaking of that, though, I also noticed that I missed a spot. Playing Halo main theme and launch a huge assault on the Covenant force in Halo Wars on Xbox 360. Good memories. Halo Wars should have been released on PC as well, because controlling a real-time strategy with controller isn't ideal, but it is on the PC, and it's nice on the PC. Ooh, it's a fun real-time strategy on the PC. I was gonna cut my losses. It's gonna look a little dirty. Maybe one day I'll maybe one day I'll redo it, but I'm just gonna cut my losses. This is literally going too long right now. Those blur cutscenes from the original Halo Wars, they still look pretty good. When you remember, like, they look good today, in all honesty. There's, like, some awkwardness to it, but they're, like, how I put it is, like, you have the Uncanny Valley. Let's get this. You have the Uncanny Valley, which does... like, that's the Uncanny Valley. And it's still in the valley, but it's, like, right here is where the blur cutscenes are. So it's on the good side of the Uncanny Valley. It's getting there. You still know it's a little wrong, but it's actually on the upswing of it. And then when you remember, those cutscenes were from, like, God, wasn't Halo, Jesus Christ, was that like, oh my goodness, when was Halo Wars actually? The blur cutscenes are so old. Halo, what is it? Halo 2 Anniversary also has blur cutscenes. Those also look amazing. But Halo Wars... how old is Halo Wars? 2009. Those cutscenes are 16 years old. It's like that's like some Blizzard cutscenes in the 90s quality. Like, you look at the Blizzard cutscenes from the 90s, you look at the trailers and whatnot, and you might not be impressed today, but then you remember what else was being shown in, like, what other, like, trailers, what footage looked like for video games, and, like, what trailers and cutscenes looked like in the 90s, and you go like, oh, Halo, like, not Halo, sorry. You go like, Warcraft had amazing cutscenes for its time. And that's what Halo Wars also has. It just has beautiful cutscenes for some reason. They've had it on PC for a while. I don't know how long. I think you can get Halo Wars 2 on PC, but only through the Microsoft Store, which is annoying. Or it's not on PC. I can't remember which one. Halo 5 isn't on PC, but not a lot of people are chomping at the bit to get that one, to be fair. Let's get this on. Hold up. Let me not Mitch K's. They're too greatly after their success. They tried for a second time after the year, and unfortunately, that's when the key system is implemented. Oof. What the hell am I doing wrong here? There's a bit of a nub there. Halo 3, ODST, Halo Wars, and the last Bungie game, Halo Reach, on Xbox 360. Nice. Oh. I was doing it backwards. Huh. You know, I was really hoping when we started this that this would be the one booklet that I didn't ruin. And it's better than a lot of the other booklets, but it's still pretty bad. Shit, which one is the back, which one is the front? Oh, this is the wrong leg. I guess we're I guess we're building the left leg. We're supposed to be building the right leg, but I guess we're building the left leg. It's fine, chat. And then Ace Combat 6 is also your favorite Xbox 360 exclusive. Ooh, I wonder if it probably has a ROM hack. I was gonna say, if it's not also on Steam or computer yet, PC. I don't know why I said computer. There, you can definitely find it. You know, I just realized if I want to play flight games, even though I can't have a control stick, the next best thing is a controller. And controllers aren't that bad for, like, flight systems. I just realized I've been being a dumb bitch for a while. Oof, that hurts. That hurts. That realization when you realize you are, in fact, that stupid. It cuts to the soul, chat. Okay. Okay. Okay, I was a little greedy. It's fine. We just need to get out this... Actually, wait a minute. Can I just do this? No, I was gonna see if I could, like, re-wet the paint. No, I can't. Okay, so we need 3,000... Actually, because it's white, we shouldn't have to. Yeah. Ugh. No, I need to. I need to polish it. It looks really rough, not polished. You can't see it, but I can see that it lost its gleam. That looks good. Ooh, it's gone. Fucking, I can't afford a VR headset, man. I saved up so much money this year, and I'm like, yeah, I saved up so much money, and then I realized earlier this month all this money has to go into the fucking, like, rebrand. I realized all the money I had. Oh, fuck. But that's how committed I am to the rebrand, sadly. Let's go and get this piece. And you go and plug in. Where do you plug in? You plug in right into the back of the knee right here, it looks like. That's a really small piece. Only use a controller to fly or drive in games. Seems like a good rule of thumb. I don't like these parts, not because there's anything wrong with them, it's just a pain to paint these parts, so I never do. But they always look a little bad when you don't, and I feel bad because of it. Halo 3 action figures, Halo Mega Blocks, and Halo ODST short comics. Favorite as teen, but too bad you don't have pocket money to buy them. Oh god, like if you wanted to buy them now, they probably would be pretty pricey. Because they'd be out of print and whatnot. Ugh. Hold up, I got a little bit of... I did see for all the things that 343 are doing, I did see the Halo Reach figures when Halo Infinite came out. They like released some Halo Reach figures. I don't know how much of Noble Team, but there was a Carter figure and a Meal figure. Those looked really good. I don't know how good they were, but the figures looked really good. Ooh. And then this goes here. Wait a minute. Okay, so this piece, okay. Most of the time I look online, flea market and convention. That's a good way to do it. I'm actually gonna take this piece off and see if I can clean it up just a little bit more. Hold your breath. This is a lot of lighter fluid. I'm definitely gonna want to come back to this one day and like fix it up, make it look better. But it's just something I can't do now, sadly. I wanted to get panel lines like this panel line right here, which looks fine on camera, but let me tell you, it doesn't look good in person. But I wanted to get that like across it, and it just wasn't working out. Even this panel line was way more work than it was worth to get. Merrick, do you remember Jaeger? Oh, Jaegers. I thought you were trying to say Jaegers. Jaegers from Pacific Rim that needed 2 pilots to function. Yes. There's actually kind of a cool way that how they had the rift system in that. The rift system was really cool. But yes, I own Pacific Rim, the movie. It's a very fun movie. It doesn't have the best writing at parts. The acting is a little wooden. A lot of it. A lot of the acting is wooden, but like it's fun as hell. Ooh. It is such a fun movie. Today we cancel the apocalypse, and it's like you're just so hyped while watching that film. It's so much fun. This feels like the wrong one. This is the wrong. I have the wrong. Hold up. It should be this one goes here. Or. Actually, wait. It doesn't matter. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm an idiot. But yeah, I remember the Jaegers. The Jaegers, which were very fun. They were very super robot in proportions and size, but they were very real robot in execution. So they were just like a wet dream of over the top. It was. The Jaegers are so much fun, and how they were animated actually is they were animated in proportion to how big they were, so they actually move really slow if you pay attention. It's just that Guillermo del Toro had the shots, like, how he has the shots done is so that way the camera is leaning into the action, so it feels like they're moving faster than they are. He took a lot of time, and actually that was his first movie where he actually directed animation to the degree, because he had to go to Industrial Lights and Magic, who did all of the Jaeger scenes, and he had to direct them on like how he wanted it to look. And he actually, if you have the behind the scenes stuff, he actually talks about how like it's the first kind of animated movie he ever did in a sense, because of how much work he had to do with Industrial Lights and Magic. Who did it? Industrial Lights and Magic, the guys who did Star Wars, you know, fucking amazing, amazing to this day. Newest comic got a Jaeger that split in two, skeleton and outer armor style, like a one Terminator model recently, one pilot per mech. That's interesting. Let me get this. Hold up. Am I doing this wrong? Yes, I am. So, what I need to do is that's actually neat. I know the Terminator. Oof. I forget which Terminator it is. I know which Terminators, I just forget the name, but that's the Terminator where they killed John Connor at the beginning, and it's like, why? Oh god, because we need the savior of humanity to be a woman. You know, and we need Sarah Connor to be really bitter. They're not after you, they're after what's in your womb. That's a line in the movie that Sarah Connor says. Sarah Connor says, "Hello, Neon, in case I don't catch a stream before Christmas. Happy holidays and Happy New Year." Happy holidays and Happy New Year to you. Did you kill John Connor? Money? Oh my god. No, nobody cared about the John Connor story. No, Skynet just sent back another Terminator and killed John Connor anyways. It's just like, it didn't change the timeline. It's just, Skynet sent back a third Terminator just out of spite, which is really funny when you think about it. Skynet was like, well, I lost, but you know what? Here's another Terminator. Fuck you. It's really silly. Like, I've already lost, but you know what? Screw you, I'm a bitter loser. Oh god. Why did they kill John Connor? Money. It's more like they actually thought that would get them more money. Kind of funny because like literally the only person who could like finish Terminator properly now is probably James Cameron, but I wouldn't trust it with him at all. I would not trust him with the story because there is a way to end it, to end the franchise, but also they don't want to end the franchise. They want to keep it going forever. But there is a way to make like a Terminator 3, so to speak, that ends everything definitively. And it's pretty much have either John Connor win the war or have John Connor find peace with the machines before the war ever starts. Because the war starts because mankind tries to disconnect the machine. So you have John Connor stop that from happening. Those are the two ways you can end the story. But they don't want to end the story, and quite frankly, I don't trust James Cameron with that. Because James Cameron is really misanthropic, so if you give him Avatar at this point, he'd probably be like, actually, you know what? I think the machines are good. I think humans are bad. Because that's all the Avatar movies are. They're just like, you know what? Humans bad. Humans are like just the worst evil thing ever. Unless they're a scientist, all humans are just evil. Is how James Cameron shows humanity in those films. It's insane. Only scientists good. Everyone else is evil. I actually didn't know, back to Pacific Rim, I didn't know that they're actually still making comics for it. Maybe there's hope. See here. Oh, I could have painted those. I'm gonna have to deconstruct this one day and actually do justice to the paneling on here. You're putting pieces in out of order, Merrick. Then this goes here. And then this goes here. Well, that painting was really unnecessary because that's just pretty much all blocked off by this thing. Well, hindsight's a bitch. Not the first time we painted something and it just got covered up anyways. Can we get this on? Yes, we can. But happy to see everyone today. Happy to be here to entertain you leading into Christmas. Where we did it again. I think it's not that big of a deal. If it is, I can fix it easily, but no, it's not. The fact that I put a piece on out of order is fine. Pacific Rim Netflix anime show of it? Oh, I didn't know that there's a Pacific Rim Netflix show. You know, I remember hearing about it and then going like, okay, and moving on. Because the second movie wasn't that great. The second movie that never happened. It's like the RoboCop remake. It just never happened. If you just say never happened, it never happened. I reject your reality and substitute my own. Rums. I really like how for Halo Reach, they just went like, you know what? Martin O'Donnell just went like, you know what? I really like drums. I did drums in the first Halo a little bit. I think I can just make this one just drums. Just the drums of war. Just really lean into that. But actually, speaking of drums, Halo Infinite also has a shitload of drums, but that's more because it's like, we're doing brutes. How do we do like music for like a brute, for like if the enemies are being led by brutes, how do we do the music? Drums. Ooh. I can't believe China is making those jackets for Gunpla. I thought it was AI generated. I think the original images might have been AI generated, but it is pretty wild to see that like those are that because there was enough interest in them. There's like, yeah, we're gonna make them. Ooh, AI generated or not, there was not the original idea to like make a shitload of these. The original picture, they were making it. Ooh. The original pictures are they're making it in real, for real this time. Okay, so the originals were AI. I thought I remember hearing that. Oh my god. We're chatting so much. Oh god. Yeah, so what I'm learning is that the New Year stream is definitely going to be in part me building this. I was wondering, will I complete this before the New Year? Yes, but only because I'm going to be streaming throughout New Year, because I'm going to be doing as many Happy New Years as possible. I don't know if I'm going to be doing a 12 or 24 hour stream, but I'm going to stream as long as I want to try to stream as long as I can, and every hour on the hour say Happy New Year. That's a long one. What would have made the story better if the character realized his timeline was supposed to change but clearly didn't? Everyone logically deduces that John survived. Sarah purposely made herself forget with the help of the psychologist and even faked her death in order to keep John safe. The reason Skynet after the girl is because she was to gather survivors who would become John's army. That would have been a better way to do it. But instead they just went, okay, well no, like John Connor's dead and Skynet was defeated. But instead now here's this thing called Legion and it's Skynet. But also a human ends up rallying all the other humans for like a resistance regardless. It's just what it makes it is that like no matter what there will always be a John Connor, and no matter what there will always be a Skynet is what that movie says, which makes it so that the whole time travel is futile. It makes it so it's all destined to happen. No matter what, AI will eventually want to kill all of humanity, and no matter what there will always be a hero to rise up, and the time travel is just superfluous because it makes it sound like if you kill John Connor then somebody else would be John Connor. In the original movie it's supposed to be because the robots went back in time, John Connor has the information for the apocalypse before it happens, and that's why he's the leader. It's a closed loop time travel. It's because of the time travel that it starts the events in place. The reason Skynet has to go back in time to kill John Connor is what leads to John Connor being the leader of the resistance. It is the creation of its own greatest enemy. Ooh, it's poetic. But that's a little bit, but like that's different from, oh, if you kill John Connor, then just a different John Connor will rise up. Another person will fill John Connor's shoes. What's that? You destroy Skynet? Oh, then a different AI will just fill the shoes of Skynet. That's so awful. Like it goes from like ironic and, you know, it goes from ironic and self-defeating of Skynet to inevitable and who gives a shit of the whole story. Okay. Legs are feeling good. This piece is coming off a little too easily, so I'm a little concerned about that. I do have the Zaku Mariner. I do. I don't have it built though, because you guys didn't vote for it in the Feeling Blue poll, so it's your fault. But this piece is coming off like a real grade piece, so I don't want to glue that in, but what I think I'm going to do is glue it in very gently. Not here, because then it won't be able to move. But if I glue it right there, I should still be able to take it off if I have a little bit of force behind it. But that is not going in. Oh, that's because it's not aligned. Hold up, is this it's a right side, left side issue? Okay, I see the problem. So if I swap the sides... Yeah, okay. So I just had the right side and left side messed up like the ball. Now let's check the other leg. You're fucking kidding me. Sorry for cursing. I also did it on the other leg where I got the left and right confused. How the fuck is that possible? God damn. Ah, it still happens. Don't break the legs. I'm not breaking the legs, but I'm really appreciating the legs while I have them separated. But I do have the Zakumaner. One idea was interesting was what happens after the Terminator does complete its mission. The one in Dark Fate went out to find another purpose after having nothing, which is why he learned about empathy, started his own business, etc. That is an interesting concept. Like in the future, the Terminators have limited like capacity for what they can do because they're all controlled by Skynet, and it's explained in the second movie. Skynet doesn't want the Terminators like the T-1000 getting independence because then it's gonna have an issue with that. But when they get sent back, they have to have higher capacity for independence. So it's just like, well, what happens when you have that AI with independence? And it's just like, well, it can live peacefully with humans, which again goes to the theme that maybe humans and AI don't have to go to war. But fuck me, I don't think anyone's smart enough to realize that setup from the second movie. Speaking of John Connor, the original ending plan for Salvation was that John dies and the Terminator/human hybrid takes his place. Fucking what? Replaces his face with John's, takes his name and leads humanity to victory. Since he has all the information about Sky. So, oh my god, wait. Salvation, that's the one with the cyborg. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. The original, the end, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I don't like that. No. I don't like that ending. Ooh. Okay, how much more do we have to build? We have this and all the armor. Oof. All the armor is going to be its own thing. We'll get started on this. We'll go for another like 10 to 20 minutes. For real this time. But the original ending was, oh god, but that's, Salvation, I'm a little bit of an apologist for. I'm not gonna say it's like great, but like a lot of people are like real into it, like really go after it. I'm like, it's not the worst thing we could have gotten, but if they had made the movie end like that, I would have just been like, we're just done. This franchise is unsalvageable. Ooh. That's horrendous. I just thought the original ending was John Connor dies, and then his wife just takes up the information because she, like, you know, was his wife and knows the stuff that he knows. And the third movie kind of sets that up where John Connor dies and his wife replaces him as the leader. That's what, like, the third movie said happened. But the idea that just like, no, this is like random dude. He's the hero now. Oh god, that's awful. It was in order to give that character a chance to redeem himself. I think him giving his heart to John Connor is a good enough redemption. He was sent to death for a crime he committed, and he was given a second chance, and he didn't want to be a robot, so instead he would save the world as his redemption. That would be his salvation. Ooh. Yeah, him giving John Connor his heart though was way fucking better. That was a way better way for them to give him his salvation, his redemption, whatever you want to call it. What is the piece I need? I need this piece. Also, I accidentally got the piece out early. So there's this piece. I don't know why it's here. This piece has just been floating around on my table, and it's always at a different spot whenever I want to look for it. But that's a piece we cut out early and did not bag properly, so we have to keep an eye on that piece. This piece goes here. But he had all the information about Skynet and Resistance could have used to make their victory so much easier. It's ways to kill the guy again. Ooh. I just feel like it just wasn't the I feel like it's kind of stupid of Skynet in that case. I forget why Skynet made him. I don't really remember why. Why did Skynet make a cyborg? Like Skynet already, like all the Terminators are already cyborgs. I forget why he was made by Skynet. I forget like the justification to make a cyborg the other way. And if it was like to infiltrate the base, it's like, well, that didn't work. It was meant as an the Terminators were already infiltration units, and he was literally no different. He had metal inside of him, which gave him away. The dogs bark at him. Like, we made a Terminator, but the opposite way around. Is it any more effective? No, it's actually weaker and less effective. Fuck, why did we do this? Why the... We made a worse Terminator. Why did we do this? We're just running out of ideas, dude. We're AI. We can't think of anything new. We're just kind of recycling the old ones. Terminators are too easy to tell. They're robots, even with flesh. I suppose you mean because of their personalities and whatnot, because, you know, they're just robotic. They don't get to, you know, exist. I mean, Arnie shows it. Even Arnie in Terminator 2, you know, where he becomes a little bit more human, quote unquote. He's still very robotic. And let's get the paint on. Yeah, lack of personality. That is like one of the best lines in the movie is, "I know now why you cry, but I can't do it. Like, but it is something that I can never do." Like, that line is delivered not with that much more emotion than how I just said it. I know now why you cry, but it is something that I can never do. Uh-oh. Dog got into trouble. Dog got a little frisky. I'm gonna build this, and then I'll take the pieces off after stream to kind of do the fine point building. But I want to see if I can do this before stream ends. Let's see here. I just think one of the most important things in Terminator 2 is if you pay attention how Arnie, even though he's he has no problem with killing people, but if you actually watch the first part of Terminator 2, they go out of their way to make it so that Arnie is not shown killing anyone. But if you watch the first movie, you just think he does kill people. But like when he fights the bikers and whatnot, you just like, that's survivable, but it's a Terminator, so they're probably dead. But then when you rewatch the film, you kind of, because you already know the twist, you're like, no, they're alive. Even though at that point, he's not been told not to kill people. So they probably are still dead at that point. But by not showing it in the movie is a very important, because if they did show Arnie just killing humans remorselessly in his introduction, redemption or not, it would have made you go like, yeah, but this is still a machine that has like no capacity to do to be anything but a soulless killing machine. It was a wise move to make it so that you don't see him, say, punch a dude's heart out like in the original, though that's a really good one. When he kill... Is it Paxton he kills? Bill Paxton, I think he kills that way. Ooh. The good old Paxtonator himself. No. Paxton is one of the other thugs. Ooh, if you don't know who Bill Paxton is, he's the guy who goes game over in Aliens, right? Game over, man! Game over! Ooh. These are my, like... This is my squad of badasses. Ooh, he's the big talking Marine who then breaks when everything who like mentally has a breakdown when everything goes awry. That is not the type of paint that can come off like this, is it? Oh, it is coming off. Really? Wait, what? But that wasn't panel liner. Wait, does lighter fluid also clean off acrylic paint? Firstly, that's concerning, because that means that shit is, like, way more acidic than I thought. But, okay. Wait a minute. We can test this further. This is acrylic paint. Does it come off? It is coming... Oh, wow, so I don't even need to sand. I just need to poison myself with, you know, toxic fumes. I just need to give myself brain damage. Oh. Oh, this is a lot better. This is a lot better than scarring the plastic. Oh, wait a minute. This is far superior. Okay, let's get this waist finished, and then we'll have the body done, and we can do the armor next time. So this part goes... Why am I just putting things on without thinking? Why must I make the same mistakes all over again? Follow the instructions step by step. This goes here, this goes here. This piece goes here. This needs to be cleaned off because a little bit here. Ooh, I'm gonna get out my notes. This goes here. I do have a question for chat, and only people who've seen Bleach can answer this. But I want to know, do you think Rukia is petite or a lolly? Which I know is kind of a random... You know what, actually, I'm going to make a poll for it. As random as this might seem, I'm going to make a poll for this. Because I saw something online recently where somebody was like... Where there was a debate about it, and I'm like... She's really in the in-between, isn't she? Thanks for hitting that like button. Big brain versus microplastics. Ooh. I suppose acrylic would be micro... Oh. Let me... Sadly, because Twitch hates chat, I can only put this on YouTube. But is Rukia... Why is this not going in? Rukia is petite lolly Okay, there's the poll. I might have spelled something wrong, but don't worry about it. And then let me go back to Twitch chat. That's the thing, like, she has the big eyes, she has like the facial proportions, but she's very much like older. She's very obviously older. And like, I feel like you could make an argument, kind of like, but I feel like she's more petite than she is lolly, personally. Let me get... Wait, where did YouTube chat go? Ooh. I should have had the last one be not as hot as Orihime or the one redhead with massive tits. You know, I'll give the author one thing. He likes the boobies. You'd say petite. She has boobs, but they're small. Small, but they're there. Yeah, but like, Rebecca has breasts, but the creators call her a lolly. You see, this is the cutoff point. Meryl Strife from Trigun, petite, no question about it. Okay, but then you have characters like Rebecca, you have characters like Rukia, and it's like, people are gonna be like, the creators said Rebecca is a lolly, so there's just no argument there, because people will just go for that and not what they think. But like, what about Rukia? Is Rukia the cutoff point? Which end does she go on? I can't believe we're having this question. This is actually one of the dumbest fucking things I've had. Only the most hard-hitting questions for chat here. Oh, that's why I'm having trouble with this. She's petite, says Opus. I haven't seen Bleach, but if it's based on the way the anime portrays her, if she's treated like an adult, then she's petite. If lolly, yeah. Like, you can't have an adult character who is a lolly, whatever you want to say. Like Tatsumaki from One Punch Man, but she's again one of those like in-betweens. But if you called like Tatsumaki petite, I don't think, like, if you called her petite or a lolly, I think Tatsumaki is like the perfect in-between. Because like, people, you can call her petite or a lolly, and I think people would be happy with it. I say happy, there's gonna be one son bitch who's just gonna be upset. There's gonna be one guy who's like, I'm angry. Ooh. I should never say that, like, everyone would be happy with this debate online. There's always gonna be one dude. Oh, this is fucking weird. Hold up, I need to, so how this goes on is like, the fuck is going on here? It goes on like this. Okay. And then it flips around like this. This has to be the wrong piece. This is fucking melting my brain. This is the wrong piece. Okay, so what piece are you? Do I not have this piece cut? I don't have this piece cut out, do I? So F7, I have to go find real quick. Oh no, it's this piece. It's the gray piece I found. Okay. Bleach. Oh hell. She isn't a lolly either. Fucking. Okay, so apparently Opus would be the one person who's gonna draw a line in the sand. Well, I feel like it depends how much detail she has. We can all agree Megumin is a lolly, though. But the character's also 14, so I feel like that's not fair. But can we all agree that Megumin from Konosuba is a loli? We must have agreement somewhere. We must find an agreeable point. Okay, so I need to get this off again. So this goes on, and it goes on like this, and then it flips. It goes on like this. And then what? Okay, I put that on wrong. It goes on like this, and then my brain is unironically melting looking at this, and I don't know. I know I'm in the wrong. I know I'm stupid, but I'm just. I see what it wants. Okay, so then it goes... Okay, it goes like that. I see now. That was a little too advanced for my Buck and the Gaijin brain. But I figured it out. I figured out basic instructions meant for Let me find the box so I can find out what ages this is for. Ooh. Come here. Made for... Where's the age? Where's the age? I need to see how dumb I am. I need to see if I'm like... High grades for like 8-year-olds. What is a master grade for? What are master grades rated for? 14-year-olds? Or am I not even that... Or is it like 12-year-olds? I just need to know how dumb I am. I need it on record. I need it on record how fucking stupid I am. Top Bleach waifu. Yorichi. However you say her name. I don't know how you say her name, but the like Southeast Asian brown woman. Ooh. Southeast Asian brown woman, Yorichi. Ooh. She is pretty peak. Ooh. Orihime is also pretty good. Orihime, Rukia, Aizen. Okay. Oh god, Ichigo, you will learn to love me instead of Rukia. That's the real reason I've done all of this. You know what? That would have made Bleach so much better if Aizen was doing all of his motivations just so just so Ichigo would notice him over Rukia. That's the real reason it all happened. 10 out of 10. Peak. What is the point of this? What is... Why do you exist? Why... There's like, I can do this. But why though? Is like in and is there a part in the anime where it just kind of shifts its arm a little bit? Oh, speaking of the anime, I can't promise, but I'm going to try my best to have it so throughout Christmas, I have War in the Pocket playing on loop on the Discord. You agree on Yorichi? I thought there was a U somewhere in her name. I thought it was like Yorichi. Ooh. I've not touched Bleach since the chapter where Rukia stabs Ichigo and gives him all of his powers back because the editor told the writer, no, make him a Shinigami again. And when that happened, I was just like, okay, I'm done because this story's never going to end. The moment, that chapter, when Ichigo becomes a Shinigami again, is the moment I stopped reading One Piece. Fucking... the moment I stopped reading Bleach. Is the moment I stopped reading Bleach. That was a horrible Freudian slip. That's like up. That was terrible. That's what you just, that is true. Char's counterattack is just, it is. I saw somebody post today on the Twitter that Gundam doesn't have enough yaoi. And I'm just, oh, I've never seen, I knew what they were doing. They wanted, that was bait. They wanted people to post, you know, Gundam yaoi. They wanted to be corrected. They wanted to be proven wrong. They just want, that's, ooh, I'm familiar with the rules of Twitter. That person just wanted all the yaoi. They just wanted people to start showing them yaoi. I know their game. Okay, I'm not cutting this off right now, but I'll get the other one. It looks like I'm one short, and I don't see the other one, so I must have just not made the other Vernair. Let me check. Yeah, I have some extra Vernairs in here, so I'll do that off stream because I'm not gonna cut these off and risk it on stream. Ooh, if I lose them, I can post shamefully on the Discord. I lost the piece. But that is pretty much Char's counterattack. It's notice me, Amuro. Amuro, I was an ace pilot before knowing you. You're fucking, that's a fucking needy girlfriend. You don't know how to spell it? Well, neither do I. I know Ichigo is strawberry, and I did not know this until I think after I stopped reading Bleach. No, it was before I stopped reading Bleach, but I didn't know this until after the Aizen arc that it's called Bleach because Ichigo bleaches his hair, and that's why he has like that. That's why his hair is that color. Fucking. I never fucking knew. I don't even know if that's true. That's just what I was told, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. I thought he was just like Ichigo because he was strawberry blonde, which he is. Ooh, his hair is a strawberry blonde. Hold up, we're doing math real quick. It is amazing how stupid I am while building these. Like, I'm just looking at the instructions, which again are super clear, and I'm just looking at them like 5 times, and I'm like, I don't get it. We're almost done. Oh, god damn it. We can recreate this. We don't have the reborn. I want to say revive so much. We don't have the reborn 100, but we do have the 144th scale. So with some camera trickery, I think we can like recreate some of the scenes from the original War in the Pocket. And if I didn't say this, what I was saying earlier was that hopefully I'll be able to play it on repeat during Christmas, War in the Pocket, on the Discord. So if you haven't seen it before, you're gonna have an opportunity. It's about 2 hours if you just play all the episodes back to back. So I'll try to figure out like the timing. You stupid fucking bastard. Chat, what's wrong with this image? What's wrong with this? What did I do wrong? I fucking didn't look. You think, chat, by sheer mathematics, me not looking and putting the pieces on, one time I would get it correct. I would get my left and right correct by sheer mathematics. You'd be fucking wrong. Sorry for cursing. It is impressive how I get it wrong every time if I'm not looking. If I'm not looking at my left and right, I get it wrong every time. This must be studied. I think I'm literally breaking rules of probability whenever I build Gunpla. Because, like, some of these, like, you'd think, like, some of these would just be impossible to make this mistake over and over again. Ooh. Okay, hold up. I'm gonna put on one last poll. Because this is a very important poll. Petite. End poll. The results were... none of you found her sexy. Okay. While I'm assembling this... Okay. That is going to be the last poll of the night. And it's very important. I'm going to assemble this, and while I'm assembling it, I want you to vote on it. Oh my god, that actually went in really tightly, and holy shit, I broke his foot. It's not like actually broken, don't worry, chat. I didn't actually screw it up. But Neon, you might want to go over to YouTube real quick to vote in the poll, because it is about how we're finishing stream, if we're doing a size comparison or not. And again, I'm sorry, Twitch, that I can't put a poll up, but I'm just too small. I got too tiny of a dick, and Twitch is like, no, you got that little dick energy. You can't have polls. Ooh. It's discrimination, I tell you. There we go. Okay, so that locks in. Why didn't that's so weird. It's the same joint. So why didn't your legs lock in? Why didn't you lock in? I'm pointing at the Space Command gem, by the way. This is it, all built up. It looks beautiful even before the armor's on. Ooh, we have some weapons we still need to finish building and whatnot. Ooh, but we'll save that for next time because we're already a little over the time that I want. I want to get this done at 2:30, but I can spare a little bit more time. I'm gonna give the pole like another minute or two. This guy is beautiful. He's missing a Vernair. A little flat in the back, but that's because it doesn't have his backpack, so it's not finished, but it is finished enough to do size comparisons if you want to. We'll probably do size comparisons when it's truly finished as well, but we're really close. We only have the backpacks, the weapons need to be wrapped up, and the armor. I wonder if maybe we will finish it next stream. The legs feel bulky. Not in like a way that would get in the way of anything. And honestly, I'm happy because it has a lot of weight in its legs. It doesn't have hollow legs. A lot of times when you have Gunpla with legs this big, they'll be hollow. And what that actually ends up making it is so that its center of gravity is a lot higher than you would think it would be. And so it's actually harder to pose. This guy, fucking, it's like a rock. He's sitting there. Okay, I'm gonna end the poll. Let me jump over here. I forget what tab it is. It's not that tab, it's this tab. Wait for the armor. Okay, we're gonna wait for the armor. Okay, so with that, I'm actually we're gonna be wrapping up. Let me get the chats all in order. Let's get Twitch over here. Let's get you here. Yeah, I fucked up. Let me get Twitch back up. There's Twitch. Okay, wait a second. I've created an unwinnable situation, I realize. Okay. With that, actually, I'm going to start leading you guys out, but look at this beautiful boy. With that, I'm going to start finding places to send you guys off to. You know, this might sound weird to say, but actually, I want to thank you guys for the stream. You know, you thank me, but I want to thank you guys for the stream. I want to thank you guys for this year and, you know, being here, chatting and whatnot. I want to thank you, in all honesty. Thank you, chat, for just, you know, tuning into another stream and having, you know, just being here and having fun with me. Thank you very much. You know, I hope you had as much fun as I did. I hope you liked the stream as much as I did. And I'm gonna look for a place to send you beautiful, beautiful people off to. Again, the extension doesn't work with Brave, so I have no idea how many people are on Twitch right now. So I'm just gonna link out because it's not giving me accurate numbers. I'm sorry about that, but I will link you guys out. So, oh, I never get to link out to this person. I'm gonna link out to a friend of Powerlines who's kind of like an Amelia Earhart VTuber. There is Hotaka Te. Ooh, check her out. And for YouTube, let me find a place to send you beautiful, beautiful people off to. Oh, that's why my personal playlist stopped. Ooh. Yeah, you have a great night too, Opus. I want you all to have a great night and a wonderful Christmas. If you can't tune in again by Christmas, I want you guys to have a great Christmas, or if you don't celebrate Christmas, I don't know, just because I know some of you aren't Christian, then have a good, if you celebrate something, have a good that. Or if you don't celebrate anything, I don't know, a good solstice. The winter solstice is, I think the winter solstice was yesterday, actually. Winter Sol. I just remembered I forgot how to spell solstice. Solstice. Is that correct? Wait, I spelled it correct. Oh, I spelled it correct, but I mistyped it. Winter solstice 2025. The winter solstice was yesterday. Happy winter solstice, chat. It was the longest night of the year yesterday, or it might be actually tonight might be the longest night of the year. I don't know how the solstice works. Okay, but let me find a place to link you guys off to. Let me see. Surely more than Doobie is streaming. I cannot keep sending you to Sawa. Seems I need to find more. Oh, Dino VTuber. I've sent you to Dino VTuber before. Oh, but Kiki channel. She's playing a dinosaur game. She's playing Yoshi's Wild Yarn. It's always the 21st. How convenient. Ooh. But there you go. There is Kiki's channel. She's a bunny. She's an Australian bunny VTuber. She's playing Yoshi's Wild Yarn, Christmas edition. I think that just means her stream is very Christmassy. It looks like she's on the Polar Express right now. But have a good night, everyone. Thank you again for joining us. And that meme is just over top the ending screen. I'm not gonna fix that. Just have a great day and wonderful life, as I already said. We'll be back tomorrow to watch It's a Wonderful Life. You'll have to find your own copy of it, but we're watching It's a Wonderful Life with... Fucking really? Are we live or not? Because it just said OBS crashed. In case we didn't, I'll just say now, we're going to be watching It's a Wonderful Life with Celia Knox, a friend of the channel, who you may or may not have met before. Suspense. And on the 24th and 25th, it's Christmas, so we're not doing anything. And on the 26th, we're going to be watching the Star Wars Christmas special with Etta Hinkst, who's never seen it before. So tune in for those. But in the meantime, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year!